Hollyoaks spoilers, Annie Wallace reveals rocky road for Sally and Myra and teases violent Mac showdown. There are some dark times ahead for Sally St. Clair as a showdown with Mac Nightingale has dramatic consequences, and leads to Mac being brutally attacked. But could Sally be the one to strike the potentially killer blow? And when Myra McQueen reaches out to a vulnerable Sally in the wake of the sinister confrontation, could there be romance on the horizon? The soap is setting evil Mac up for quite the fall, and later in the week, we will find out exactly who leaves him for dead. Telling Metro.co.uk that Sally has an axe to grind due to the death of Neeta Kaur and the destruction of the school, it sounds like there are highly charged scenes ahead. She told us, Sally has never liked Mac because he's a bully, and now he's a marked man. Every time she sees Mac, she is filled with rage. She blames Mac for everything that has happened, and if he hadn't turned up at the school, she would still be alive. As little facts have come out at the memorial, Sally goes on the warpath and she wants to deal with this. Quite stupidly, she confronts Mac, who is this really violent person, so she puts herself at a lot of risk. So that has some consequences. The meeting doesn't go well. After the nastiness of the showdown, Myra is there for a shaken Sally, and this is what leads to something developing between them, as we saw in the recent winter trailer. Annie shared, this leads Sally to grow closer to Myra again as Myra reaches out to her when she is vulnerable, which is what leads to this little, unexpected kiss. This kiss knocks them both for 6, they're not sure where it has come from. Neither of them really went for it. It takes them both by surprise and they don't quite know what it means. Is it a heat of the moment thing, or is it something more? We know that Sally's name used to be Ian, but in trans culture, to coin a phrase, there's no such thing. It is called dead naming to use the old name. Through the nature of drama we have to do it occasionally, but we also don't want to keep using it. Sally's reaction to hearing it again is one of exasperation. It's like, why are we hearing that name? That's not her anymore, and it's a part of her life that she doesn't want to be reminded of. But for Myra, that's where her feelings lie. They lie with the memories of that very short and intense time that she had with Ian. But that's not what Sally wants. So could Sally's heart be broken? Annie sighed, oh goodness, she does fall in love a lot, doesn't she? She just keeps falling in love with straight women. I think Sally has been in love with Myra since the start of the year. She did develop feelings for Neeta too, but of course, it's possible to love more than one person at once. Sally always knew that Neeta was a lost cause. She was a young, straight girl and Sally just happened to fall for her. But Myra and Sally have such a deep history, not to mention a son together. Sally is still hurting from being dropped like a hot brick when Diego came back on the scene after the birth of the baby, so in her mind, Myra might also be a lost cause. She is straight, but she still has these feelings for her because of how they felt back in 1989. However, Annie isn't necessarily against her character being hurt, as she pointed out that despair was all in the nature of good soap. Unsure that she would want Myra and Sally to just live happily in harmony, she pondered, I think there needs to be conflict. Any situation where people settle down and live happily ever after does not serve the purposes of soap. It's rare. We had Roy and Haley and that was about it, and even they had their ups and downs. It's in the nature of what soap is. Conflict is the heart of it, and you find rare bubbles of happiness within that. So yeah, it would be nice to see them together, but if that does happen, I can guarantee that it will be a rocky road.